Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this thing right here. This is my own original idea, and well, it's not really an original design, but it's my own original idea. And what this is a rubber band notebook, and you can actually open it and it will stay open, but you gotta kind of fold the pages over a little bit, but it's not really that big of a deal. But you can open it and write stuff in it, and it's all using rubber bands. Also, another good thing about this is you will only need to use a hook and some rubber bands to make it. So, well, I pretty much told you what you're going to need. You're going to need your hook, some rubber bands for the actual notebook part out here, and you will also need some paper. And this paper needs to have like these little holes punched into them. And, well, the only paper I have that's like that is lined paper. But you need to make sure you have holes punched into the paper like this. I can't really tell you how many rubber bands you are going to need. It depends on the size of your paper, so just get a bunch of rubber bands that you wish to use. But anyway, now that I've told you what you're going to need, get your supplies, use the pause button so that you can do so, and I will see you once you are ready to get started. Alright, so to begin, you're going to need your paper and this many rubber bands. Now I say this many because there is a certain amount of rubber bands you will need depending on how many holes are punched in your paper. So if you only have 2 holes punched in your paper, you will need 4 rubber bands. So 2 rubber bands per hole punched in your paper. Or if you're like me and you have 3 holes punched in the paper, you're going to need 6 rubber bands. So 2 rubber bands per hole punched. But anyway, to actually put these rubber bands on your paper, you're going to go to one of the holes punched in your paper, and make sure you have all of the paper with you. It's going to be all on the same rubber bands. Let's go to one of the holes, doesn't matter which one. You're going to get your hook and stick it through, or slide it through like this. Then you're going to get a rubber band and put it on your hook like so, and pull it through the paper. Here we go. Now, once you've done that, you're going to get this end of the rubber band that you're holding with your fingers and put it on your hook as well, just like that. And now you are going to get another rubber band and slide it through this rubber band that's going through your paper. So, get this rubber band, put it on your hook, and slide your hook back through these rubber bands here, or this rubber band. Now, once you have gotten this rubber band through this one here in your paper, you're going to put the other end of this rubber band on your hook as well, and you're going to create a slip knot with this rubber band. Oh, okay. There we go. Now, to do that, you're going to grab this side of the rubber band that is farthest away from the actual hook part of your hook. Just pull it off of your hook like that, and tighten the slip knot barely, just enough so that the rubber bands will not come undone when you move on to the next hole. So once you have that, you're going to move on to the next punched hole in your paper, and you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to stick your hook through, then get a rubber band, pull it through the hole in your paper, then put the other end of this rubber band you were holding with your fingers onto your hook as well. Then get another rubber band, put it on your hook just like so, and pull it through these rubber bands, or this rubber band you just put going through your paper. Now you're going to put the other end of this rubber band you're holding with your fingers onto your hook as well, and now you're going to create a slip knot with this. So grab this rubber band, or this side of the rubber band, farthest away from the actual hook part of your hook, and pull it off of your hook. Then you're going to slightly tighten this slip knot, barely, just enough so that it will not come undone when you move on to the next hole, or when you make your actual side of the book. If I can grab my example, here we go. So when you go to make this. But I have one more hole that I need to make one of these for, and if you do as well, then just do the exact same thing you've been doing. Get your hook, just go ahead and stick it through, get a rubber band and put it on your hook, pull it through, then put the other end on your you're holding with your fingers on your hook, then get another rubber band and slide it through. Then you're going to put this other end of the rubber band onto your hook, like so. Then you're going to put this end of the rubber band off of your hook. So take it off and tighten the slip knot just barely. And there you go. So once you have this kind of single chain rubber band with a slip knot on it, going through all of the holes that are punched in your paper, it is now time to make the actual side of the little notebook. Alright, so if you're still confused, or if you're confused what the side of the notebook is, it is this single chain here, and you're going to need to get all of the rubber bands you believe you will need for your paper. Now, you actually need a lot more rubber bands than you would think. I used about 40 to 30 rubber bands for the side of my first notebook. And this paper is the exact same size, so I'll probably be using the same amount of rubber bands. So I got about 40. But anyway, to begin, you're going to get your hook, and you're going to find the first hole punched in your paper, so starting at the bottom and going up. And what you're going to do is you're going to stick your hook through this rubber band that is sticking up from your slip knot, so just stick it through that. Then you're going to undo the slip knot, so grab this part here that's holding the slip knot together and just pull it away and just onto your hook like that. And you should have something like this. Now you're going to get your first rubber band, put it on your hook like so, and slide these rubber bands that are on your hook through this one you just put on your hook. So like this. Now you're going to put this other end of the rubber band onto your hook as well. Now, I'm going to be showing you how to make a single chain on your hook 2 more times because it's very, very simple, and I'm not going to sit here and explain it 50 times because it kind of doesn't make sense. It's really easy. So next you're going to get another rubber band for your single chain, put it on your hook like so, and slide these 2 layers of rubber bands that are on your hook onto this rubber band that you're adding to your single chain and that is on your hook right now. Now once you've slid the rubber bands through, you're going to put this end of the rubber band that you're holding with your fingers onto your hook as well. And you're going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to go ahead and show you one more time. You're going to get a rubber band you're going to add to your single chain, put it on your hook like so, then slide it through these 2 layers of rubber bands that were on your hook previously. And once you have that, you're going to put the other end of this rubber band onto your hook as well. And as you can see, my single chain is already forming, and yours should be as well. And what you're going to do now is you're going to continue adding rubber bands to your single chain until your single chain is long enough to stretch to the next hole in your paper. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward myself, adding rubber bands to my single chain, and I'm going to stop here when I get to the next hole in my paper, and you're going to do the same thing as well. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. Just use the pause button if you need to. Alright, so I have now made my single chain long enough so that it has come here to the second hole in my paper, and it looks like I need to add one more rubber band, so hold on. Alright, there we go. So once you have enough rubber bands to fit, or that will fit comfortably to the next hole, or that'll be just below it, so when you set your paper down and you stretch out the single chain just a little, or well, you don't want to stretch your single chain out at all, but when you set your single chain down as far as and as long as it can go without stretching the rubber bands, it should be just below the rubber bands for your second hole. Now what you're going to do once you get to your second hole, or maybe even the last one if you only have two, is you're going to do the same thing to undo this slip knot as you did before. You're going to stick your hook through this rubber band here that's sticking up from the slip knot, and grab this end that is creating the slip knot that's holding it, and pull it out and off, or not off, but out and on to your hook, just like that. Now you're going to go ahead and continue your single chain, only now you're going to have these slip knot rubber bands and the next rubber band in your single chain. So you're going to get the next color you're going to use in your single chain and slide it through all four of these layers of rubber bands. So these rubber bands that were your slip knot, and also the rubber bands in your single chain. Just like that. Then you'll bring the other end of this rubber band onto your hook like that, and you'll just continue making your single chain. So you'll get your next rubber band you're going to use, put on your hook, continue making your single chain on your hook, and if you only have two holes in your paper, just fast forward the video to the part or the time in the as a caption, or in the description wherever I put it. It'll probably be a caption, but fast forward the video to the time in the caption to figure out or to see how to finish off your book thing. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forwarding myself, making my next single chain up to the last little slip knot I have to add to my book. Use the pause button if you need to. Alright, so I am now here to my last hole on my paper, and what you're going to do at this point is you're going to undo this slip knot here. So stick your hook through this rubber band sticking up, then undo your slip knot by pulling this, putting it on your hook. There we go. Now you're going to get the next rubber band in your single chain and just slide it through all of the rubber bands on your hook, even the single chain here. There we go. Then, now, once you have your rubber band going through your single chain and the last slip knot on your paper, you're going to get one more rubber band and put it on your hook and pull it going through all of the rubber bands on your hook, and there should only be one, and add this rubber band as if it were the next part of your single chain. And now once you have that, you are done making your side of the book. So now it is time to finish this part off and have your book. So you can either get a clip and end it off like that, or you could be like me and finish this off with a slip knot. So just to finish off your book, you can either attach a clip or you can make this a slip knot. So grab this side of the rubber band, pull it off of your hook, release it, and tighten the slip knot or this rubber band here as tight as you can tighten it, because you do not want it to become undone. And once you've tightened it enough, or you think you have, you can either cut this rubber band off or just leave it, or try to hide it inside of the single chain, which that probably won't work too well. So you could either cut this or just leave it. It does not matter. But yeah. So now, once you have your book, and you've done whatever you wanted with the slip knot, you now have your book. So now it's time for the outro. So I would like to thank you for watching my tutorial. Hopefully it showed you how to make a rubber band notebook or a rubber band book successfully. And hopefully you are enjoying your little rubber band book. Hope you are enjoying your little rubber band book. And thanks for watching. Bye.